Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. For this IMS560 project, my partner Hazia Aiman bin Maizuriza and I, Muhammad Iqbal bin Badri, we developed a system called Household Expense Splitter. The system is built using PHP, MySQL and Style with Bootstrap 5. The goal is to help users, especially students or housemates in UITM, to manage shared expenses easily. Whether you are staying in a rented house with friends, or college, or living with family, this app makes it easier to track who paid for what and how much each person should contribute. Let's start with the login and register features. First, a new user needs to register by filling in their name, email, and password. The password is stored securely in our database. After registering, they can log in using the same email and password. Once logged in, the user is taken to the dashboard. This login session is protected, so if someone tries to access the system without logging in, they will be redirected to the login page. Let's try to log in my account. And this is the main dashboard. Here, we can see a quick summary of the user's activity. At the top, it shows the welcome message and the total expense recorded by user. Below that, there is a list of households the user is a part of. These include households they created or joined using the Join Household button. And the button is here under the welcome message. So user can select to join any household that exists in their account. For me, I only have one for now. And each household acts like a group. For example, Rumah Sewa Puncak Budana or like this, College Jasmine Laman E. Then, we have the latest expenses recorded by the user, along with actions buttons to edit or delete each one. So you can edit your expenses and also delete it. There are also a navigation bar at the top that lets user jump to pages like expense, summary, my households, manage, and logout. Now let's take a look at how to add a new expense. So user can either click this button or use the navigation bar at the top. So when you click that, the user can fill in the title, amount, date, and select the category, such as food or utilities, something like that. They also can choose which household the expense belongs to. This is useful when managing multiple living arrangements. So this is where you group the expense that that user want to save in this household. Okay, you can also create new household from here. For example, I want to create a new household. Just create, and then you can pick the household and then pick the date, and optionally user can enter names in the share with field, which is this one. This helps identify who they shared the expense with. For example, if I paid 90 ringgit for internet and share it with two friends, I can list them here. I can list my friend here. And then after saving, the expense will appear in the dashboard and can be tracked in the summary report. So for example, for the title, I put the movie SCM, and the amount, let's say 80 ringgit, and the categories I put others, and I choose this new household, and I already put the date, and then let's say I share the, because I go with the other two friends, so let's put the name here, and then I save the expense. So it came out at the bottom here as an expenses. So you see we have two expenses, and then first you need to join the new household to make sure you can see the difference. Okay, now I belongs to two household, which is College Jasmine Laman E and Rumah Sewa Puncak Perdana. So for Dubuyo, I put the expense in the College Jasmine Laman E, and for movie XCM, I put in the Rumah Sewa Puncak Perdana household. So when I view the household, it will show the expenses that I group the household in. For example, this one, Dubuyo in the College Jasmine household, and in Rumah Sewa Puncak Perdana, it will only show the movie SCM because that's the only expense in the household that I put. So that's how it works. That's all for my part. I have demonstrated the login and register process, the dashboard overview, and how users can add new expenses to track shared spending. The rest will be demonstrated by my friends. Through this project, we hope to offer a small but practical solution for UITM students and communities to manage their daily finances better.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Haji Eman Rizal, and now we shall be moving forward into the database, or more so the website created. And from now we are going to look at the summary of everything. As you can see, when it comes to summary, it has many different parts, moving parts in it, which is summary by category, which for example is utilities and the total price, and also the shared expenses breakdown, which is the full detail of the current expenses that has been registered, such as the name of the expenses, the amount, how many people in that household are shared it, and the total amount of people within that household, and also how much should each person pay. And let's go back and let's take a look at the actual thing. As you can see here, within PHP My Admin, there are multiple different categories here, and we want to take a look at categories. So for categories, it refers to this, which is utilities, the categories of the expense. And within this, categories are divided into ID and PK. To the total ID number of the registered data, which is unique for each category, which is why it is the primary key. And for the name, it is for the name of each expense category, as you can see here, which is the food, rent, utilities, and transport others. And this is the data type for this is varchar. Let's take a look at the categories. As you can see, here are the categories provided. And as you can see, this is the ID and the name of said category. Now we'll move back. And for now, let's take a look at my household. And my household is simply this, allows the users to join any household available. So let's see, let's join now. And there are multiple different household available, and some of these are duplicates for testing purposes. For now, let's click laman A, College Jasmine laman A, join, and now we go back and we should be over here. As for household, we can appropriately check that it is here over here, and the ID is set to integer, and the name is Barja, which is the name of the household, and created by is int, and it references the user who created it. As for the key, the ID is a primary key, while the created by is the foreign key. And here is some of the examples of it. And here are the details. As you can see, the ID and the name, and also created by. And while we're at it, let's also take a look at memberships. Now, memberships refers to, as in the users that have registered into each specific household. And let's see over here. You can see we got memberships, which is ID, which is an integer type, which is a foreign key, and it is unique ID for each membership record. User ID is an integer, which is also a foreign key, which references the user who joins that household, and the household ID, which is the integer type, data type, and a foreign key, which references the specific joined household, as in the name of the household that has been joined. So now let's take a look at the actual household. It's this. We can look at the expenses for each of the household, and for example, we can also join a household as mentioned earlier, but we can also create new ones. As you can see, there have been multiple that have been created, but we can also create new ones. So let's say College Jasmine laman B, create, and now we are being told to fill up all of the new expense, which is as shown earlier in the manage section. So let's see. The title will put water bill. For the amount, let's give a reasonable amount of around, let's say 40. And as you can see, there are multiple different types here. Let's choose utilities, choose laman B, and we can also put dates, which is very specific, as you can see here. Let's also put the names of all of the people that shares the household. Let's put one more name, and we save expense. And as you can see, we get to see the expense here, and also the total expense up here, which calculates all of the expense available. And in the view summary, we can see all of the details, and if we edit, we can also edit the other details. And as you can see here are the expenses as shown earlier. The ID, user ID, household ID, category ID, title, amount, date, shared with, and created at, which are all either unique or references the specific data that is being referenced to. All that I have for expense splitter. Thank you very much.